What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I wanted to jump in with something a little bit different, and we are going to be breaking down Eververse items for Season 15, and specifically we will focus on brand new items that are going to be sold for silver as well as bright dust. And the aim of this video is essentially to let you guys know which items are going to come up for sale for silver, but then are also going to be sold for bright dust at a later date. We've all been in that situation where we've purchased something for silver on one week and then found it for bright dust on a subsequent week. And so while Bungie do share a list typically of the silver only items for the season, I thought it could be pretty useful for some of you guys to see when items are going to come up for silver, followed by when they'll be sold for bright dust. And so I hope this one is useful, but first, gotta give a massive shout out to the Eververse calendar on todayindestiny.com. This has a projection of when all of the items are going to be sold in the season, and this is based on the API. So it's a very, very useful tool and absolutely something worth referring to. I'll link it at the top of the description down below. But just bear in mind, Bungie do have the potential to change this order. However, that does tend to be for very specific items, and the bulk of this schedule based on previous seasons is likely to be pretty much 100% correct. We should also mention, of course, if you want to purchase items for silver and show that support to Bungie up front, then that is still an option. But now to break down all of the items in the season, this week on week 1, featured silver items include the Drumroll exotic emote, as well as the Pragmat exotic ghost shell, and the Archangel's Alacrity, which is a new exotic sparrow. There is also the Focused Fist available, but that is a silver only item this season, so it won't be sold for bright dust. Skipping ahead to week 3 though, the Archangel's exotic sparrow is going to be sold for bright dust. So that'll be on the 7th of September. On week 4, the 14th of September, we'll see the Pragmat exotic ghost shell sold for bright dust. And finally, week 6, the 28th of September, is when we'll see the Drumroll exotic emote sold for dust. Then on week 2, which will be the weekly reset of the 31st of August, for silver, we're going to see the Rochambeau multiplayer emote, as well as the Queen Guard exotic ornament for the Chaperone, and then the Wanderer's Wings exotic ship, as well as the Junkyard Shell exotic ghost. But on week 4, so the 14th of September, we'll see the Junkyard Shell back up for sale for bright dust. On week 6, which is the 28th of September, we should see the Queen's Guard ornament for the Chaperone for bright dust. The 5th of October, we'll see the Wanderer's Wings exotic ship. And finally, if you want to purchase the Rochambeau multiplayer emote for bright dust, you will have to wait until week 12, which is the 9th of November, but it will become available eventually. On week 3, which is the 7th of September, the silver offerings will include the For the King ornament for Thorn, as well as the Junkyard Steed exotic sparrow, the Dreamer's Shell exotic ghost, and the Cat Ear Dance legendary emote. On week 5, which is the 21st of September, both the For the King ornament for Thorn and the Junkyard Steed exotic sparrow will be sold for bright dust. Then on week 7, which is the 5th of October, we're going to see the Dreamer's Shell and the Cat Ear Dance sold for dust. On week 4 of the season, so the 14th of September, we're going to get the Fiddler's Dance exotic emote, the Vanguard Dare weapon ornament for Ace of Spades, the Pragmat Harrier exotic ship, and the It's Over rare emote. All of those will be available for silver for the first time. But on week 11, which is the 2nd of November, we'll get access to the Vanguard Dare ornament for Ace of Spades for bright dust. The 9th of November, which will be week 12, we'll see the Fiddler's Dance exotic emote for bright dust. And then on week 13, the 16th of November, we're going to see the Pragmat Harrier exotic ship for bright dust. The week 5 silver offerings on the 21st of September will be the Western Front ornament for the Monte Carlo, the Pragmat Powerhouse exotic sparrow, as well as the Drat and Blast legendary emote. However, on week 7, the 5th of October, we're going to see the Pragmat Powerhouse exotic sparrow sold for bright dust. On week 11, the 2nd of November, we'll see the Drat and Blast emote sold. And finally on week 14, which is the 23rd of November, we're going to see the Western Front ornament for the Monte Carlo. So a bit more of a wait for that one, but again, they will eventually come out for bright dust. On week 6, so the 28th of September, we're going to see the Laden Lance ornament for Cloudstrike, as well as the Nemean Chariot exotic sparrow and the Archangel's Might exotic ship. Then the Double Hands Dance legendary emote. That'll be the first time they've been sold for silver, but on week 11, we will see the Nemean Chariot exotic sparrow, as well as the Laden Dance ornament for the Cloudstrike, and the Double Hands Dance emote, all sold for bright dust. Plus we'll get the Archangel's Might exotic ship sold on week 12 for bright dust, and that will be the 9th of November. Moving on to week 7, which is going to be the 5th of October, we're going to see the Lion Tamer exotic emote, the Internal Combustion ornament for the Lament, the Nemean Shell exotic Ghost, and the Straw Dog Standoff exotic emote sold for silver. On week 11 though, the 2nd of November, we'll see the Nemean Shell sold for Bright Dust. Then on week 12, which is the 9th of November, we'll see the Internal Combustion ornament for Lament sold for Bright Dust. And on week 13, the 16th of November, we're going to see both the Lion Tamer and Straw Dog Standoff emotes sold for Dust. The following 3 weeks after this are filled with classified or silver only items for Festival of the Lost. And then we get to week 11, which is the 2nd of November. And on week 11, the silver featured items will be Remembrance for Dead Man's Tail, that's a new exotic ornament, as well as the Conga Line multiplayer emote, the Wanderer's Shell exotic Ghost, and Junkyard Navigator exotic ship. However, on week 13, which will be the 16th of November, we're going to see both the Remembrance ornament for Dead Man's Tail and the Wanderer's exotic Ghost Shell sold for Bright Dust. And then on week 14, which is the 23rd of November, we'll see the Conga Line emote as well as the Junkyard Navigator sold for Bright Dust. When it comes to week 12, the 11th of November, we've got either classified or silver only items with the exception of the Aim and Fire emote, and Aim and Fire will be sold on week 14, which is the 23rd of November for Bright Dust. Then weeks 13 and 14 will once again have silver only or classified items with the exception of the Rochambeau emote once again being sold for silver on week 13, but that one will have already been available for Bright Dust at some point earlier on. But here for a quick list of items that are silver exclusive this season and aren't related to events or classified. And initially we've got the Slow Jam multiplayer emote and then the Ostroraptor ornament for the Hawk Moon. There's also the Archangel Shell, which is a pretty cool Warmind themed ghost shell. And then we've got the Badzine exotic emote, as well as the Ferromancer ornament for Tiku's Divination, the Nemean Galley ship, but also the Kafur Correction legendary emote, the Wanderer's Wagon exotic Sparrow, and finally 3 finishers. We've got the Crosscut finisher for Hunters, the Ricochet Disc finisher for Titans, and finally the Occult Orb finisher for Warlocks. And once again, those are all of the items for silver, Bright Dust, and a list of the silver exclusive stuff that isn't tied to events or currently classified. We are additionally going to get silver exclusive ornaments for things like the Aegis Scepter, but of course we'll see when we finally get those. And so, I don't think I've ever said Bright Dust as many times as this in my life, but that is a breakdown of all of the new items that are going to be sold for both of the currencies this season and when they're currently projected to be sold. Once again, massive shout out to todayindestiny.com and the folks who worked on that site. It's a very useful tool and absolutely I'd recommend it as a reference point for these items, vendors, and events throughout the season. So it's linked down below. But if you've enjoyed this overview today, a rating really does help us out on the channel. Let us know any items you're looking forward to picking up, but also if you're new to the channel, feel free to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with everything related to the game. But otherwise, whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.